G'day, how are you? Steve from Raw Leadership. I wanted to jump on and share a strategy with you around how we can maximize our time. A lot of the time I get comments or questions from my clients who are asking me, Steve, how do I make the maximum of my time? So there's many different strategies out there that we can use, but this one is one that I want to share with you around a project. You know, maybe you've got something that's a little bit long term. Maybe it's going to take a month, maybe 2 months, maybe just a week. But the principle is exactly the same. It's called the game plan. So it's coming up with a game plan, a list of jobs and timeframes in which they need to be able to be done in. Now, the benefits of being able to use this is it creates focus. It creates good use of time. We can use this to delegate tasks out to other team members. So the principle really is very, very simple. What we do is we write out the number of days, weeks, months, whatever it is, the timeline of the project. So let's just say we've got a 4-week project. So we're going to put week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And those are going to go across the top and you're just going to draw lines down by the side. Then what you need to be able to do is you need to come up with a list of all the tasks that need to be need to be done. So we've got all the list of the tasks down here. Now, what I suggest is that first of all, you write out all the list of the tasks on a separate piece of paper because we need to put those into order, i.e. how are they going to be done? So it's a little bit like, let's say we're going to build a house in 4 weeks and it's a very basic house, all right? We're not getting up to sort of building specs here, but let's just use this as an example. We're going to build a house in 4 weeks. And you've put at the top of the list, put the windows in. Okay, well, if that's job number 1, that isn't going to work because we haven't got the foundations in, we haven't got the walls up, we haven't got the roof on, all of those sort of things. So you want to be able to come up with a list of all the jobs that you need to be able to do and then put them in chronological order. Then what we do is in our master list, in our master game plan, down the left-hand side, we put, hey, Christine, how are you? Good to see you. So thanks very much for jumping on. Christine's one of my old work colleagues from when I was in the Royal Air Force, and she's in the UK, so it's great to see you. Thank you very much for joining me. So we've got our weeks across the top, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Then we've got our jobs down the left-hand side, and it says, whatever the jobs are. So let's stick with the building house scenario. For the first one is, to put the foundations in. Then it might be to put the walls on. Then it might be to put the roof on. Then it might be to put the windows in. Then it might be to start putting the electrics and the plumbing in. Then it might be to plaster the walls. Then it might be to lay the floorboards. All of those sort of things. And what we do is we stick them in a list down here. Now, as we go through week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, we put a dot on which job needs to be done and the chronological order in which it's going to be done. Then we can start to even assign tasks to people, assign people roles and responsibilities so they know when they've got to turn up to step into the party. This is a system that I used when I was in project management. Used to use this all the time. It's called a Gantt chart. It's nothing new, but the idea of calling it the game plan just makes it a little bit more fun. And Gantt, when somebody starts to talk to me about Gantt charts, my brain just goes, oh, because they were really complex. But what we're doing is we're simplifying it. So when you can put it in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, then those jobs, you should have a series of dots that go down to the completion date. Now, what this does is it gives us an ability to be able to track how we're going. Are we on target? It also then starts to build our confidence because once we've knocked over week 1 and week 2, we start to look at week 3 and go, yeah, I'm on course. This is going to happen. We're going to hit the end date. We're going to hit the target. We're going to stay within budget. We're going to stay within time frame, whatever it is. But even more than this, like I say, you can then start to share this information out amongst other people around your team, start to delegate them. Maybe they need to start getting ready. Maybe they need to start thinking about, okay, which plumber are we going to use? Which electrician are we going to use? Who are we going to get in to do the windows? Who are we going to get in to do the floorings? Well, they can start working on that whilst we are still putting in the foundations. So the beautiful thing around this is it creates focus. And even more than that, what I encourage you to do then is to be able to put up this as a visual chart somewhere so that not only you can see it, but anybody else who's involved in the project can see it as well. Now, this doesn't have to be a team event. This could be something that we use ourselves to manage our time. Maybe we've got a whole list of things that we need to be able to do in the week. So we put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, and then we put down the list of all the things that we want to be able to do. And if there's a deadline for them, maybe we need to phone somebody by Wednesday afternoon. We write next to that job, big circle on Wednesday, deadline. And then we know that we can get it. And if it's done on the Monday or the Tuesday, we can give it a tick. If it hasn't got a tick by the time it comes to deadline day, we know that we've got to do it. That's number one priority. Then we give it a tick. So what we want to be able to do is throughout the week, all the way down the left-hand side of all of your tasks, you've been able to give them a tick at some point, and you've been able to notify when the deadlines are. This creates a sense of urgency, a sense of importance, so that then we stop procrastinating and get on and do it. So these are ways that we can use the game plan, which is just a very simple table, just a very simple timetable. Right across the top is the time, and down the side is the tasks. It's a very simple process, but so many people forget about it. So many people don't use it, and then they wonder why they don't have enough time in the day. So look, I hope this serves you well. I hope that you find use in this. And if you do, please pass your comments. If you've got ideas of how you use your time, how do you manage your time? How do you track how you're using your time? If you've got any of these ideas, share them in the group. Share them in the Raw Leadership group. That's the whole point of the group, is that we all come together, we all share, and we all become greater leaders through the sharing of each other. Because that's what great leaders do. They share and they help other leaders grow. So I hope that this has served you well, and stay tuned. There'll be more little tidbits and hints and hacks and ideas, strategies, insights, thoughts, thinkings, whatever you want to call them, coming your way soon. So wherever you are in the world, whatever you're up to, I hope that life is treating you well and you're staying safe and you're giving life a good old squeeze. All right, I will speak to you soon. Until we meet again, stay safe and look after each other. See you.